Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Ken, and today we're here to review the new horror film, Together. Together we will do this review.
Okay.
Babe,
So,
let go of my hand. This isn't funny.
What?
Before we get into giving our thoughts on this movie, please, if you could, hit the subscribe button. Also,
Yeah, like the video.
Like the video like she said, and then leave us a comment down below. Have you seen Together? This movie actually came out on a Wednesday, and we saw it on a Wednesday.
We did?
Yeah, so this one, it was like a weird midweek release.
We actually could have seen it on a Tuesday night, though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I guess maybe the previews were Tuesday night. But anyway, it's out in theaters right now. If you want to go see it, you can check it out. But if you have seen it already, let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. So let's get into it. I'd say we were anticipating this movie quite a bit.
Yeah.
But
if you watched our most anticipated for the rest of the year, that one was on there. So
yeah, I mean,
I'd say we were.
I think ever since it was announced, you got Dave Franco, you got Alison Brie, who's a real life married couple, being in a horror movie together about them being stuck together. I do like, a good body horror movie. So like when I heard the premise, saw the first trailer, I was definitely intrigued to see this one. But what were your initial thoughts?
Yeah, so we kind of talked about it a little bit in our anticipate it for the rest of the year. I watched, they were showing the trailers whenever we would go see movies, and they were showing the trailer for this movie, and I do feel like the trailer gave too much away.
Do you feel that way after seeing it?
Yeah, I do. Because I mean, I don't want to spoil too much for anyone who maybe has stayed away from the trailers or whatever, but I mean, at the end of the day, the title alone is enough to kind of let you know what it's probably going to be about. But yeah, I kind of go back and forth between saying that it was good and then also saying no, I think I really liked it. I don't know. I think maybe I need to wait until we watch it again if we ever do.
Well, I'll definitely buy it, I think, at some point.
Yeah. So I don't know, like you said, it was a cool, idea. And I definitely think that this movie had some layers to it. I don't think that it necessarily was just the surface level stuff of, this couple kind of getting fused together.
There was a lot of subtext, a lot of relationship, heavy relationship commentary in the movie as well, that I think did kind of enhance it a little bit, kind of push it beyond just your regular, horror film.
Yeah, I do feel like, if you have, if you're in a relationship, a committed relationship, or even if you have relationship experience, I do feel like you might resonate with the movie more. As far as
not just relationship experience, but long-term relationship. Because you're introduced to this couple, they're 10 years in, to their relationship. So I think it tackles a lot of that stuff very well.
Yeah, I think that, not that you have to have that kind of experience to enjoy the movie, but I do think as far as that deeper level type of stuff to understand, I feel like you do need some of that experience, life experience. But yeah, I don't know, this movie definitely, I feel like it had a little bit of a slow start. And and there were just some moments where they're acting, I don't know, I was kind of a little nervous that it wasn't gonna land for me.
Well, sometimes it's weird when you have real life couples in a movie together. You would think they would have this built-in chemistry, but sometimes it just doesn't quite work. There's been examples in the past where it just doesn't work all the way.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, at the end of the movie, I felt like their chemistry worked, but in the beginning it did feel a little disjointed between the two of them. So I kind of understand where you're coming from there.
Yeah, and it's just Dave Franco, he's been in, serious movies, but I do kind of associate him with more of just a a comedic actor.
Yeah, I mean he's dabbled in the horror genre. He directed that movie, The Rental. Do you remember
Yeah.
watching that? And Alison Brie was in it, but
Yeah.
he was not in it.
Right.
It also had Dan Stevens, I think. So
I
like
knew that they had like worked together before on some level.
yeah, because when this was first announced, like I assumed that Dave Franco was the one that directed it, or like he was going to direct it, but no, it's written and directed by a guy named Michael Shanks. And I guess we can dive into the controversy a little bit. Apparently, there was a controversy about this being like plagiarized from another story and all that, and I still don't think that's settled like right now, but it is something kind of interesting to note.
Well, when we talked about it...
I haven't really followed up on the story, so I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. Well,
when we talked about it. Sorry. So yeah, I don't know if that's been all the way settled. I had heard that, maybe there had been some kind of a settlement there, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I mean, the movie came out, so I'm assuming it has to be...
Yeah, I'm assuming it got cleared in some way.
Possibly, yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. I do feel like, though, once we, got going, I was interested in it, and, I felt more optimistic, I guess. There were like a couple of things where I think we were kind of like questioning their thought process or like their decision making.
Yeah, particularly the beginning with the
like do we want...
I mean, I'm not trying to get into spoilers, but this is literally like a part of the premise. So like when it's a part of the premise, I don't consider it a spoiler, but they fall in a hole and that kind of kicks off the whole the whole story. And yeah, there were some questionable like decisions when they fell in that hole when they went hiking.
Yeah.
That I was just like, why are they doing it this way? Like I don't understand.
Yeah, so it was just it was cool in the way of like the slow building of something, unraveling type of thing. Yeah. That was, I always enjoy that. The building to something, like things are starting to happen, and that things are about to get crazy.
Yeah, they did a good job there. Just kind of building. And to what you said about everything being shown in the trailers, like it was, but I don't feel like the context was there. I felt like how I thought it was going to be played out differently in the actual movie, which I appreciated. Like some of the shots they had, like in the trailer, was like completely different, like when you saw them on screen.
Yeah.
Like just the context of them. And there were some like really like gnarly like body horror sequences that they did not show in the trailer.
Thank God.
That was pretty cool. And that's another thing with this movie. It's got like, if you're into those, like really good special effects, like from the 80s and the 90s and stuff, like I'm thinking John Carpenter's The Thing. Like there's several things that they like practical effects that they clearly like draw inspiration from, like The Thing, and several like 80s horror films.
Yeah, and also The Substance for sure, and that's not
The
80s,
Substance.
but...
I mean, The Substance was newer. That might be like a coincidence, but I will say that I do feel like this movie is this year's Substance, kind of like just in terms of like they're both body horror and they both just kind of go for it with like the over the top, like almost like 80s splatter gore type of feel and vibe.
Yeah, I mean, when it came to,
I feel like The Substance goes for it more.
Oh, absolutely.
Way more, in particular, like the final 30 minutes. But this movie, there's definitely comparisons there.
Yeah, just some similarities. Like, definitely not to the extreme of The Substance, though. Like, I want to be clear about that.
I love The Substance, but this doesn't have, like, an extended 30 minutes where it just, like, goes completely off the rails.
Yeah.
Like The Substance.
So, as far as, the coming together, again, without, like, spoiling too much, like, you get a lot of like good moments where they're starting to realize that just like something is not right, and so I did enjoy those moments. I can't really like talk about them specifically because again that would spoil it, but like I feel like this was a movie that is one of those movies that is kind of fun to watch in the theater, because I feel like we had a lot of people who are very like reactive, and
there's some squeamish moments.
There's some like laughing and some like oh shit, and like
There's one moment in particular
Yeah.
in a bathroom stall
Uh-huh.
that's made me uncomfortable in particular.
Mm.
And I will say, like, this movie, it's essentially about a couple that's being drawn together physically, mentally, emotionally by some kind of force, curse, or whatever you want to call it.
I don't know. All in all, I do think that it was, a good movie. I'm glad that I saw it. Again, I don't know. I feel like, this was probably intentional, but I feel like both of their characters weren't necessarily like super likable, but you're
No.
kind of like just seeing them in like vulnerable, in like you're just seeing them in a vulnerable spotlight, I guess. You're just seeing kind of the nooks and crannies of real people and in their relationship, and how they're not perfect, and it's hard to keep a healthy relationship, and there's like life things that are happening, that's kind of testing their
Well, I
relationship.
mean, Dave
And
Franco kind of has like a tragic backstory that
which
they
we kind of talked about how I didn't really feel like they fleshed that
But they
out,
didn't. I don't
but
feel like they fleshed that out enough, and I don't feel like they completely paid that off. Now, what exactly would be the payoff for that? I
yeah.
don't know. But like they set a lot of stuff up, and they made it like a focus for such a long time in the movie. It felt like,
Yeah.
and then nothing. Like I feel like they never really returned to that.
Yeah, like I could
That was just supposed
see.
to be like why his character was the way it was, or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I could see like some points of doing it, but yeah, again, I don't feel like they fully uh like went anywhere with that. But yeah, I don't know. Their characters weren't like super likable. Specifically her, I don't know what it was. She just felt in the relationship, she just felt more like needy. And I don't know. And then, you've got him. He's like, even though they've been together for like 10 years, it seems like he's having some commitment issues and just some like immaturity. Like, even though they've been together for 10 years, like, they don't have children, which I know that not everybody is going to go on to have children. I don't know. They just seem like they were still very early in their relationship, like not 10
Yeah,
years in. You
kind
know what I
of.
mean?
And I don't think the movie does a good enough job, like
Setting up their relationship,
setting up the relationship to make you feel
the time invested.
the emotion of the payoff, because there's like a payoff to
Yeah.
it, and you're supposed to kind of be happy about it
Yeah.
or something. But I don't feel like the movie really sets you up to like think. I don't know. I'm just conflicted. Like, should they be together? Should they not? Are they right for each other? Are they not? Like, and maybe that's the point, that we never really like truly know if
Yeah.
they're right for each other, and it's hard to know. I don't know. There's definitely interesting things that they inject here, and I mean, real relationships are very flawed. So
Yeah.
maybe that's what they were trying to convey.
Yeah.
Without spoiling too much, I don't want to get into like what exactly the ending is, but they
Yeah.
did do a shot. They showed something at the end that
Yeah.
I know we talked about on the way home.
Yeah.
Was a little bit conflicting. I don't think it ruins the movie, but at the end of the day, I think that less is more sometimes when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't need to show what they did. That's
Yeah.
all I'll say.
Yeah. Like you said, we talked about that, and it just, I was a little conflicted about that choice. Like, I think that it's like I would have preferred not to have seen that particular scene. But then I thought, well, maybe if they hadn't shown me, I would have been annoyed and frustrated that I didn't get to see either.
Some people
So,
do.
so it might have just been a lose-lose. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. All in all, I think that this was a, fun movie for sure. I feel like if I do watch this again, and I say if I watch it again because I'm not like a big like rewatcher of movies. I do feel like this could like go up like on my view of it. Like be like, wow, that actually was actually really good. I think I actually really liked it. I don't know. So
it was an interesting movie, and I mean, I'll say this about it too. It got an extraordinary amount of hype, and usually when a movie's super hyped up, it does not all the way deliver for me. And I think this movie kind of did deliver. I think it lived up to the hype.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I don't feel like a lot of people are saying it was a masterpiece, but a lot of people are saying they enjoyed it a lot, and it was just a really good movie, and I think that's what it is. So,
Yeah,
one of the
and
few horror movies that actually lived up to what people were saying.
yeah.
So,
And I'm just kind of curious about like how it did. I don't really know.
we'll find out. I mean, it's going to have an extended,
That's
weekend
true.
to
Yeah.
accumulate the numbers and all that kind of stuff. And another thing I wanted to say real quick before we close it out is there's some reveals that happen in the movie that I was very, I guess, happy about because it's like the kind of stuff that's right up my alley as far as a horror fan, and that's all I'll say.
Okay.
I was happy they went the direction they did instead of another direction they could have went.
Gotcha.
So,
All right. Yeah, that's going to do it for our together review.
that is our together review. We did it together. So, we hope you enjoyed it. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Also, comment down below, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.